welcome back to another video. As you could tell by the title, today we're doing something a little different, a little weird, a little scary, if I'm being honest. I don't know how I'm titling this video quite yet, but basically what I'm about to do is follow my old bodybuilding prep program for 1 week. Just for a little bit of context in case you're new here or maybe don't know my background, I am a former competitive bodybuilder. I have done 5 or 6 shows in the past. I feel like I always forget the exact number. And the last prep that I did, the last show that I did was in, I think, July of 2021. So it's been 3 years since I've stepped on a stage, since I've done Stairmasters, since I've tracked calories, like the whole thing. Since that last show, which I'm gonna pop up some pictures just for reference of like where I was at in life. Since that last show, I have always referred to myself as a retired bodybuilder or like a former competitive bodybuilder because I truly never saw myself going back to the sport. I had, yes, really beautiful, amazing times, but I also had some really unhealthy, really not good times. And at the time of my last show, I had decided it was going to be my last one after the fact. And I've just had literally zero desire to go back to the sport at all. And that brings us to now. September 2024. Don't ask me why, okay? Because I'm really not sure and I'm trying to figure out my own weird, twisted mind. But I am starting to maybe possibly get the itch to step on a stage again. If I do, it'll not be this year. But that sparked the idea for this video, where I was like, I wonder what life would be like if I just transported myself back in time, back to July 2021, back to being 7 weeks out from nationals. What would that workload feel like now as someone who hasn't been doing anything similar to a bodybuilding prep since? Like, I intuitively eat, I barely do cardio, I still lift, of course, and I still eat healthy, of course, but nowhere close to as strict as my plan used to be. Before we get into the actual video and everything I'm about to be enduring for the next week, I do want to say some blanket disclaimers. I feel like these are all obvious, but I just like, for my own peace of mind and to sleep at night, I feel like I need to say these things. The first disclaimer is that I'm making this video for fun and like purely out of curiosity, purely for like my own research and my own like mental game of seeing if I can do it. With that being said, I am not telling you to do this, okay? This is not a trend. This is not a challenge. I'm not telling you to follow in my lead, literally at all. Another disclaimer I want to say, if I was actually starting a prep, like if I had the inspiration to step on stage again, this is not how you do it. You don't just jump into, first off, an old program or this amount of cardio or this amount of calories. So please, in no capacity, no matter what you're doing in life right now, do not copy me or this plan. I am fully sharing this video as entertainment, not really as inspiration, not really as telling you what to do or advising this to anyone. Bodybuilding in general is not a healthy and sustainable thing. And the fact that I'm going to be going immediately into what my plan was like 7 weeks out from a national show, it's going to be intense. It's not normal, okay? Don't do it. Also, even if you were doing a prep and even if you specifically watching this were 7 weeks out, our program is never gonna look exactly the same. Programs are super individualized, depends on you, depends on your coach, depends on your body's reaction to things. So let's just keep that in mind here. Okay, now that the disclaimers are out of the way and hopefully sunk into your ears, we're gonna go over the game plan. So the first thing I want to go over is food. I never tracked my macros during my preps. I would get a meal plan from my coach. I would follow that meal plan for like a week, and then after my check-in every week, I would receive a new meal plan. So keeping that in mind, I just want to say that it was really hard trying to dig up what my old meal plan was, because the way I received these plans from my coach was through an app that I obviously no longer have access to since I haven't worked with this coach in over 3 years now. So what I had to do on my end as research for this video was scroll through endless days on MyFitnessPal until I finally found just like 2 or 3 logs I made throughout my entire prep. There was only one that was usable because the other 2 were from peak week, and no chance in heck I'm doing that for a video. So the other option, I was 7 weeks out from my national show, but I was also 1 week post-show from the show that had qualified me for nationals. When I first started filming this video, because spoiler alert, it's Friday now, we're almost done with the entire challenge. But back on Sunday when I started this video and I first sat down and found this meal plan and made this plan and did the whole thing, I didn't realize that I was 1 week post-show. You usually eat a bit more after a show to help your body regulate again, and then you start the cutting phase. So if you have 2 shows back to back, if you have enough time to gradually increase a little and then drop again, that's usually the healthiest method for the athlete. So that's exactly what my coach and I were doing. And I'm explaining and prefacing all of this because Sunday, when I didn't realize I was 1 week post-show during this meal plan, I followed the plan to a T. After Sunday, when I was doing some digging to try to find photos from this time, is when I realized I was 1 week post-show. And that does affect things because I feel like it's not a super accurate representation of my prep. My carbs were a bit higher 1 to 2 weeks post-show, and then we dropped them again. So I decided moving forward after Sunday to just cut my carbs ever so slightly. So I'm about to read to you the exact plan that I initially found, as well as the modification I made for the rest of the week. I really hope that makes sense because that took a lot of explaining. So the initial meal plan that I found 7 weeks out from nationals, again, let's not copy this or even look up how many calories it is. Meal number 1, which is breakfast, was 8 ounces of egg whites, 30 grams of oats, gluten-free of course, 1 cup of blueberries. Meal number 2, which was usually, I believe, my pre-workout meal, was 6 ounces of tilapia, 2/3 cup of rice, and 3 ounces of cucumber. Meal number 3 was 6 ounces of chicken breast, 2/3 cup of rice, 3 ounces of cucumber. And then meal number 4 was 3 ounces of 94% ground beef, 5 ounces of sweet potato, and 3 ounces of cucumber. So that's the exact plan that I found. That's what I did on Sunday. After Sunday, I did end up changing slightly, just a mild change to make it a little more accurate to like my average prep journey. Instead of having the 2/3 cup of rice on meal number 2 and 3, I dropped it to 1/3. So I know, a big setup to not tell y'all a whole lot, but I just want to be transparent and I wanted to really give this week a full effort and like be as honest and realistic to my old plan as possible. Now that we got the food game plan down, let's talk about water intake. We all know, okay, if you've seen any of my videos ever, I am chronically dehydrated. I do not drink enough water, period. So my water goal throughout this week of my fake prep is drinking anywhere between a 1/2 gallon to 1.5 gallons per day. Now let's get to the fun stuff. We got the training and the cardio. Let's go over training first. My training split throughout my prep was Monday, quads, Tuesday, shoulders and chest, Wednesday, glutes, Thursday, rest day, Friday, shoulders and back, Saturday, full leg day, and Sunday, another rest day. So 2 rest days, 5 training days, mostly focused obviously on the lower body and the delts because that's what wellness is all about. And now the star of the show, and the thing that gave me a heart attack this week is the cardio. My cardio programming during this time in my prep, and honestly throughout most of my prep, was 60 minutes fasted cardio on the Stairmaster and then 30 minutes post-workout cardio. And I was never specific to Stairmaster only. So throughout this week, I'm just gonna be doing what's open or what feels good that day. I do remember at this stage of my prep last time, Stairmaster twice a day was just a little too much on my lower back where I like couldn't even pose at that point. So I was doing a lot of like Stairmaster for my fasted cardio and then elliptical post-workout. So we're just gonna see. We'll see how this week goes. And for that cardio plan, the 90 minutes total, it was 5 times a week. So every training day I did cardio as well. And then my 2 rest days of Thursday and Sunday were complete rest days. So yeah, that is the game plan. That's what I'm getting myself into this week. And my initial feelings and gut reaction, there is a lot of fear, or I guess more so nervousness than like actual fear, just because again, like I was saying, I've been intuitively eating whatever the fuck I want to eat for the last 3 years, and I also have not even made eye contact with the Stairmaster in the last 3 years. Like I think the most Stairmaster I've done since my national show has been maybe 10 to 15 minutes. So jumping from where I'm currently at into 90 minutes of cardio a day. Now that you guys know the plan, we're in this together, okay, you're gonna be watching me throughout this week of mild suffrage. I do want something tangible to track. So I did start on Sunday morning before my first cardio session with some progress photos and some measurements. I will let Sunday Kendall take it from here. Okay, time to strip down. I also haven't done like measurements in a really long time, so I'm kind of excited. For those of you who have been like following me recently, I've been in a cut for the last like several months, just a very, very easy, very casual cut. Like usually the most cardio I do is like 25 to 30 minutes on the treadmill. We're gonna start with the waist. Waist, we're at like 28, I think. See, here is where I get confused on measurements because like, if I'm resting it, you guys can't really see. If I'm resting it on my skin, I'm at 28, but if I pull it as tight as possible, I'm at 27. I feel like as long as we're consistent, so I'm not gonna pull it as tight as I can. I'm just gonna pull to where it's resting on me, and in that case, we're at 28 inches for the waist. Time for the glutes. Glutes, we're at 41 inches. Should we do a bicep just for shits and giggles? Bicep, we're at 13 and a half, and then we're gonna finish with a quad. Quad, we're at 24 and a half. So here are all of my starting measurements, just so I have them to compare to my final measurements when we finish on Friday. Oh, I'm actually gonna run upstairs and weigh myself and add that to this list as well, my bad. See, the fact that I am out of breath from running upstairs is a bad sign for this week. Anyway, my weight is also at 162.4. So now that we have all of the starting measurements, time to make some predictions. I think my body is going to respond one of two ways this week. I will not be surprised actually if I gain weight by Friday. The only reason I think I would gain is due to inflammation. Since my body isn't used to a certain level of water intake and doing this much cardio, I won't be shocked if I just get really inflamed and don't end up seeing any like positive results from doing this. On the flip side, if my body does respond, I predict I will lose probably between 1 to 2 pounds. But I guess we'll see on Friday. You'll have to stick around to find out. This week is obviously not a full week of doing this program because I started filming on Sunday and I'm posting this video on Saturday. So it's almost a full week, but not quite, to the point where I kind of had to shift my program slightly. So even though Sunday would typically on my plan be a complete rest day, I wanted to get the ball rolling a little bit. I also thought this would set me up for success going into my real day one on Monday. So Sunday, I did end up doing my 60 minutes of fasted cardio. I didn't end up training or doing post cardio. And then I also spent the day meal prepping for my meals that day as well as the rest of the week. And also with that being said, that means we gotta go do fasted cardio right now because it's almost like 11 a.m. and I am actually so hungry. So I wanna get this ball rolling. Let's go hit the Stairmaster and then I'll meet you guys back here to do a grocery haul and meal prep. Okay, I just got to the gym. I am gonna sit here for like 2 minutes and meditate and remember why I'm doing this. Because I'm kind of in the stage where I'm like, whose idea was this? Because it is so dumb, but no, I think it would be fun. My goal for the cardio session is to drink one of these in entirety, which I honestly think will be a lot easier. Like thinking back, I think the reason I was drinking easily a gallon a day is because I was burning so much and sweating so much. So, I don't really have anything else to say. So I guess that's it. I'll see you guys in there. Wish me luck. I'm alive, I've made it. I did the damn thing. It truthfully was not as bad as I was building it up to be, like literally at all. It actually went by pretty fast and it felt quite easy. Obviously we're on day one, so I recognize by day 5 I might not feel like it's going by fast or that it's easy. I will say I did not go on the level on the Stairmaster that I used to go. But again, I had built myself up to be at this current program. Like I didn't jump right to doing an hour fasted and 30 posts. Like I started with literally 25 minutes on the Stairmaster and that was it, my first few weeks of prep. So with that, like as you increase your conditioning, you increase what your heart can handle. So usually you want to stay in like a middle heart range where you're burning body fat. When I did this program 3 years ago, ago, I was doing level like 7 and 8 on the Stairmaster. Today, I was more in the 4 to 5 range, and even then, I'm not exaggerating, and I tried to film it, but it would turn off every time I removed my hand. My heart rate, even at level 4, was consistently above 180 beats per minute, which is not good. Like, you don't want to stay there for an hour, and I did today because that's part of the challenge. But like, if I was in a bodybuilding prep, I definitely would not want to stay at that heart rate. Like, I honestly probably burnt muscle throughout this cardio session. And obviously I'm not like doing it that long where it's going to make a substantial impact. Like I was saying, if I was in a prep, I would definitely have to like go level 2 maybe. The first 30 minutes went by really fast and felt really easy. I would say the hardest part, and I remember this being the same way when I did this program originally, the hardest part is the like 30 to 45 minute range, because I feel like you're over halfway, but also you're like, I literally have a whole second half to do. But once you get to that like 45-minute threshold, it becomes really easy again, because then you feel like you're almost done. But yeah, I'm actually quite proud of myself for how easy that felt. And granted, like tomorrow I'm gonna have my full workout and my post-workout cardio, so today is just kind of like a little sprinkle, a little introduction, but it felt really good. I am so hungry. It's literally 12:30 p.m. now, so we're gonna go home and make the breakfast we're gonna be having every day, which is the egg whites, oats, and blueberries. And then I think maybe a little later in the day, maybe when I'm heading to make my second meal, I'm gonna meal prep all of my like second, third, and fourth meals for the rest of the week, just to make my life easier. I feel so stupid. I was about to start cooking and I just realized I literally don't have a food scale. Like, I haven't measured my food in so long, I just don't even own one. Because I smell disgusting and I'm so hungry, I'm just gonna measure out my egg whites with like, what's it called? A measuring cup, that's the word. So I'm still gonna eat my breakfast and then I'm gonna shower, and then we might run to just like a Walmart or a Target or something and pick up a food scale so that when I make my meals later, I can weigh them out. This is like the one thing from prep I really don't miss. And again, we're gonna see how my body reacts to it today and then go from there. Oops. Unless it was like peak week or the week before peak week, I never really cared about my sodium intake. I think as long as your sodium is somewhat consistent, that matters way more than the actual like milligrams you're having. Unless, of course, you have any sort of blood pressure issue or your doctor does advise you to reduce your sodium. Dropped my blueberries. Thankfully, not all of them. To the oatmeal, I'm going to be adding my 1 cup of blueberries, which low-key feels like a lot. I don't know if I'm crazy. I'm also going to be adding just some ground cinnamon to the oatmeal. This is how I like to season things up until, again, like peak week time or the week before. And then on the egg whites, I'm just adding a little bit of green pepper Cholula. Around like 3 or 4 weeks out, or honestly whenever my coach tells me to, I took out like all artificial sweeteners or any sort of sauce or anything like that. But even then, like in my entire prep, I try to keep things super minimal. Like the most sauce I'll ever use is a hot sauce, because they are essentially like 0 to 5 calories. So with my seasoning choices, just not choosing anything with sugar or added calories or carbs in them. I did end up like basically finishing my water. I think there's like a few sips left, so we're just gonna refill her. Okay, I'm gonna like sit and eat these off camera, but I thought it'd be fun to like taste test them for y'all, just to see if they bring back any sort of nostalgia. We're gonna do the oatmeal first. I will say, I think when I was in prep and like actually eating this meal, I would have my blueberries separate from my oatmeal, because sometimes like the visual of just having more on your plate went a long way. But for today's sake, cheers. Not too shabby, not the best. Would definitely be better with like some sort of sugar, but that's okay. Time for the egg whites. I'm really hoping this doesn't mess up my stomach, because I love eggs. I have gotten the egg ick like many times in my life though, so I love eggs right now. Okay, other than the rice, I'm not gonna like meal prep absolutely everything right now. I'm just gonna make bulk meals as I make the meal I'm going to eat, if that makes sense. So the meal I'm about to have is meal number 2, which is some jasmine rice and some tilapia. I'm also trying not to do my normal coffee this week, because I do use creamer, and that's something I would definitely not have while in prep. But I was literally falling asleep, so I did crack open a little Alani Nu Orange Kiss. These are okay in a prep up until either, again, your coach tells you to take out artificial sweeteners, or if you notice it's disrupting your bloating, microbiome, etc. These don't make me feel great, like energy drinks in general. So I'm just gonna have like a third or at most a half of this and save the other half for tomorrow because I'm gonna need it if I'm already this sleepy. I'm just seasoning my tilapia with some Slap Ya Mama seasoning. Now I'm just gonna let it cook on the stove top on each side. I really don't time this. I just go based on like how it's looking and feeling and the texture. I weirdly love when my tilapia or my cod like falls apart. So sometimes, and maybe I'll do it today, even if it looks a little gross, trust me, it tastes really good because it gets rid of that fishy texture. I like to just like mash it up. Is that gross? I don't know. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. And then the rice is just about done, so I'm gonna turn off the heat on that and let it just sit for a few minutes.
This obviously is a little bit costume.
Okay, and then while the tilapia finishes up, I'm just gonna prep my cucumber as well, which like I said earlier is just 3 ounces per meal. If you're on TikTok at all, you have seen this guy, thanks to Logan, who has also got me obsessed with cucumber recently. So, I've been doing this pretty regularly, except now we're weighing it out. 3 ounces on the dot. Adding in now my 2/3 cup of cooked jasmine rice and my 6 ounces of tilapia. This kind of feels like a decent amount of food. I can't tell if it's just like the shape of the bowl making it feel like a lot, but I'm not mad about this. Okay, I'm giving her a go. Get a little of everything. Cheers. I genuinely don't think I've had tilapia since I ate it in 2021, but it's not bad. And then I definitely didn't make enough rice for like the entire week or anything, but this is definitely gonna last me at least a couple of days. Maybe, we'll see how long it lasts. Hold on, really convenient timing. Really, can you open them? Can I live through you eating my tilapia?
You gotta do your slice, you know, you recycle. Make sure, and we are big recyclers in this household.
Talks a lot. We're gonna get to the point here. Cheesy custards.
We like to get a little down and dirty on NFL Sunday, you know?
Those smell insane.
They look like goldfish.
Okay, it is chicken time. So I'm just taking it and slicing it up into like little 1 to 2 inch cubes. I feel like this is my favorite way to make chicken just because it coats all sides with seasoning. Once I cut it all up, I'm going to be adding my seasoning. I'm using garlic powder, Dano seasoning, and some Slap Ya Mama. Rex is investigating the cooking, but I also wanted to update that I'm now on, what is this called? Water bottle. Water bottle number 3. Okay, now that the chicken is done being cooked, it is time to plate our 3rd meal of the day. We are doing again just 3 ounces of cucumber. Then we have our 6 ounces of chicken breast, and then our 2/3 cup of rice. Okay, I'm about to make my last meal of the day, which is the beef, sweet potato, and cucumber meal. I was feeling kind of lazy, so I'm just steaming my sweet potatoes. I got the like steam and bagged sweet potatoes anyway, so it worked out. Okay, beef is done. It's time to make out our last meal of the day. Okay, I already weighed out my cucumber, now going in with the sweet potato. Oh, 5 ounces. 5 ounces of sweet potato. Whoa, that was literally perfect. Just doing 3 ounces of beef this meal. Small protein on the last meal of the day. Monday's fasted cardio went really well as well. Again, my spirits were high, so there was no messing with me. I got on there, found some good podcasts and YouTube videos, and just stepped my heart out. I didn't end up filming a lot of me on the actual Stairmaster throughout this week because we all know the morning people at the gym take the gym real seriously, and almost all of the Stairmasters around me were taken every single morning, so I didn't want to be like the weirdo at 7 a.m. holding up my camera to talk to y'all. But trust me, I did it, okay? I did take a little bit of proof every single day, and I will be sharing it. Another really cool fact about this week is my brother is currently on his own weight loss journey, and I told him I was doing this, and he decided for some unknown reason to join me. So he actually has also been doing 90 minutes of cardio throughout this entire week, and it's honestly been really nice to have a buddy in it with me, where like every time I did kind of doubt myself or get nervous again, I always like thought of him and how much he was killing it, and we sent each other photos every day when we finished our cardio, and yeah, it was just really nice having like someone on my team. Meals on Monday went really well. I did film throughout this week as well for Instagram, so if some of the content is vertical, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna find a way to show y'all. After this day, I don't think I showed my food a whole lot because it got insanely repetitive, but it was weirdly nostalgic having these old meals again. Like I almost started to look forward to my egg whites every day and look forward to my tilapia every day, which is funny because like those are two foods I definitely haven't had in my current plans since competing last, but I may have to add them back in, okay? I was really looking forward to these meals. Hello, happy Monday. Is it already 6 p.m.? Yes. And I haven't updated you guys once, and I'm so sorry. I had fallen asleep last night at midnight, which is like fairly normal for me, and then I woke up shortly after at like 1:45 a.m. and literally did not go back to sleep all night. Like I maybe got like 3 hours total last night, so I've just been exhausted today and like going through the motions, but I truthfully like didn't have the energy to even talk to you guys or update you. Like I've just been in bed other than working. Cardio went really well this morning. It felt really good. I have like a little life hack that I actually used throughout my entire prep, which is like if you go and do Stairmaster immediately, like as soon as your eyes open in the morning, I feel like you are half asleep and almost sleepwalking your way through cardio. So like by the time I was even like fully conscious, I was almost done. So it went by pretty fast. I am 2 meals down. I have 2 to go. I do want to save both of them for post-workout since I'm hitting quads today. When I eat right before I train legs, I get like really super nauseous. So I'm gonna go work out in like an hour or 2. I do plan on filming my entire workout for you guys, and then we'll come back home and have our meals. I ended up doing my first post-workout cardio on the treadmill because unfortunately all the Stairmasters were taken. Stairmaster was my initial plan, but treadmill worked out. I was just tracking my heart rate and fluctuating the level I was walking incline and speed on so that my heart rate stayed in like a 130 to 160 beats per minute zone. The only benefit of Tuesday morning was I felt weirdly very lean. I did not expect to feel or see or experience a change, especially this early on in the week. But I woke up Tuesday being like, holy shit, hi abs, where did you come from? And I think just like thinking about it objectively, I'm having very non-inflammatory and non-bloating foods this week. Like meal prep foods for being on a bodybuilding plan are so clean, and it's not like I'm snacking. I'm not really having a lot of sugar or sugar alcohols besides my 1 energy drink rule per day. So I think just like taking a lot of those things that are usually in my diet out just made my body like, okay, I am officially the queen of saying, okay, I promise I'm gonna talk to you guys more, I'm gonna film more today, and then simply not. I think the problem is like I'm doing the same thing every day, so I'm like, I don't need to tell them for like the 12th time in a row now that I'm weighing out my cucumber. But just to update you, I had a very busy day today. I went in the morning, did my cardio, it felt really good today. I got a little annoyed with the person next to me on the Stairmaster, and look, I am like one of those people where I'm like, do whatever the fuck you want in the gym, right? Like I whip out my camera and tripod sometimes. I can't talk. I know this, but it was first thing in the morning. I'm like half asleep. I like to just throw on like an episode of an anime, a YouTube video, a podcast, and I like to just coast and chill. I want to pretend I'm not doing cardio. The lady next to me this morning, again, she looked amazing. Whatever she's doing is working. She was very frantic, very manic. That's the only way I know how to describe it. She kept like turning around, turning back around, doing kicks, picking up her phone, putting her phone down, putting her arms up here, putting them on her waist, turning around again. And I was just like, it was just a lot for me to handle in the morning. After that, I came back, I had meal number 1, and then what did I do? I showered, I got ready for the day. I had a lot of like editing work. For those who don't know, I edit the Know Your Power podcast myself. So that usually takes like probably like 2 hours-ish just between like editing and then watching it back and doing the timestamps and everything. Then I went, trained my clients, came back, had my second meal of the day. And again, I hopped on my computer and I've just been doing some like online work. So I still have 2 meals to go. Same as yesterday, I'm gonna go work out now and then have both meals later on. That's just like how I like to structure things. I think if I was in real prep for a real show, I would be a little more mindful about spacing my meals out and like reserving energy. But for right now, it's just like I rather eat more when I'm hungry. And right now I'm not hungry. So I'd rather go work out and then save 2 meals for later. I'm trying to think of what else to update you guys on, but it's only Tuesday. It's only 2 days into this whole challenge thing, or I guess like 2.5 days in. I have nothing to say. I feel great so far. It's been really nice, I will say, having like a real morning routine again. Like, usually on the day-to-day, I wake up and I'm like happy to be awake, but I don't have anything like immediate on my to-do list, versus right now, like waking up and my first thought being like, let's go do cardio has been surprisingly nice. I also feel like my neck and headaches have been so bad. I think I mentioned that this morning. That's why I couldn't sleep last night. And here's my theory. I'm just gonna prop you guys up to give you a demonstration. I haven't been able to film like me actually doing Stairmaster yet, because every time I've been on it, there's been like a bunch of people on my sides and I don't want to be that person forcing them on camera. But like on the actual Stairmaster, the thing to hold your phone is like down here. So like the whole hour, like my head and neck are just... So I think that's why I'm in pain, or at least partially why. So for Kendall popping in to explain tonight's push workout for y'all, since I didn't get to film everything. So I started with dumbbell incline press, 4 sets of 8 to 10 reps, trying to increase my weight every single set. After that, I did a tricep that I somehow only filmed 2 out of the 3 parts of. I did front raise for 10 reps, lateral raise for 10 reps, and external rotation for 10 reps, and 4 sets total here. Also not pictured was a tricep superset, where I did cable rope triceps, supersetted with a dip on a bench, and then I wrapped up with some push-ups, 3 rounds until failure. After my workout, I hopped on the Stairmaster for our 30 minutes post-workout cardio. And while it felt great during, I didn't realize how quickly and how immediately I was going to regret how much I trained on Tuesday. Talked about it here and there on this channel, but I have drastically cut back how much I train my upper body in the last several months, because every time I hit anything upper body, I get headaches, I get tension. When I tried to go to sleep on Tuesday, it was even worse, like a million times worse than it was on Monday. And it was really frustrating and like kind of upsetting, because my spirits were high. I fully thought going into this week that it was going to be a mental challenge, not a physical one. I thought my body was going to handle everything really well, but it might mentally be a little tough. I might complain. I might not mentally feel my best. But it was the complete opposite. I got it completely wrong. Weirdly, mentally, I was doing fantastic. I felt great. I was motivated. I was feeling good. I was enjoying cardio. Physically, though, my body was taking a hit. Let me tell you. I did not expect to be in this much pain. And I talked to like a professional bodywork massage therapist about it. And I was explaining it to them and I was like, I feel like I have a high pain tolerance. Like usually pain, soreness, none of that bothers me. But this week was hitting different and I felt really bad. And again, that was kind of like messing with me psychologically, because I was like, but I feel good. Like I mentally feel good and I want to keep going. And like, of course I was going to keep going, but my body was like literally trying to limit me and I just had to push past it. Wednesday morning, I had to wake up like 3 hours earlier than I had been the rest of the week, because I did have my podcast to film a little later in the morning and I just wanted to give myself enough time to go to the gym, come back, shower, change, drive to Julia's, film the podcast, all of the things. Wednesday was just kind of a lot. These poor shoes and this poor hat are gonna need the deepest clean of my life after this week. The amount of sweat, like what even is that? That's just straight up from hitting the Stairmaster. I'm also truthfully very nervous that the gym is gonna be packed. This is like truly prep Kendall. Like this is the time I would usually go do my fasted cardio when I was in prep. And I know how serious that morning crowd is. They don't want to be fucked with and I respect that. I'm just hoping that there's an open Stairmaster. I'm alive. It's actually pitiful how much I've been looking forward to my egg whites every morning now. Like, I think the breakfast might be my favorite meal of the day. Or the last meal. The beef and sweet potato also very good. It looks like another thing on today's to-do list is to go, I really look rough. This is the roughest video you guys are ever getting of me, this whole video. I need to go grocery shopping. I'm out of egg whites, I'm out of tilapia, and blueberries. Okay, I finally look somewhat clean and normal in a clip. Very thankful for that. Very thankful, very mindful. And like I said earlier, I'm going straight from here to a hair appointment that is like on the complete other side of Austin. For those that are familiar with Austin, it is in Lakeway area, so like very far. And I didn't pack a single meal, so it's gonna be a long day, you know? Ain't that the consequences of my own action? The only good thing that happened to me on Wednesday was I got a haircut. You probably can't tell right now because this hairdo's a little nuts because my hair is so beyond greasy from this week of sweating so much. There is a wonderful woman named Ashley. She reached out through Instagram. I am putting all of her information on the screen right now. She is a hairstylist based out of Arizona and Austin, Texas. And she was so fucking cool and so fucking nice. And she's also like my age. And I just love seeing other like young female entrepreneurs doing their thing and hustling. And she gave me the best haircut ever. So that was like the only good part of this day. After the haircut, I came back home and I immediately fell asleep for, I'm not exaggerating, 3 hours. Holy crap, you guys. I went and got my haircut, which first off looks freaking phenomenal, and she was such an angel. Anyway, I came home and I was like, I'm gonna put on a cute outfit, I'm gonna take photos, I'm gonna take videos to like give her promotion. I laid down and I just woke up and I don't know what day it is. Mentally, I'm like trying not to pay attention to how bad I physically hurt. I don't know if it's a pride thing of being like, I've been here before, my body can do this, I got this. And my body's like, we don't got this. Again, like the good part of this week, which I know is very surface level and very vain of me, I was really liking the changes to my body I was seeing. Like, I haven't seen ab definition in myself like this in a really long time. So I was like, you know, I might feel like shit, but I'm gonna utilize it, okay? So I did photo shoots. Okay, even though I physically feel like trash, I am looking fairly lean. Which is nice. We're gonna abuse the situation, we're gonna use my body, and we're gonna go take some pictures. Okay, I just made it to shoot location number 1. Either way, I'm staying just in this parking garage, but I've actually never shot right here. I am like 1 floor down from the rooftop, and I think the lighting down here could be cool. And I'm gonna add the name of the parking lot on the screen. It is a $10 all-day fee. So if any of you are in Austin or you do photography and you're visiting, whatever, this is one of the absolute prettiest views of the whole skyline, and it's so affordable. These like giant external flashes, and I feel like I look like a weird like old-timey news reporter. It's so funny. And then you guys already know the drill. I like to use the app Imaging Edge Mobile, which connects right to my camera. So now I can stand over there and just like wirelessly take my photos. After my little photo shoot, I headed to the gym. This was the only workout I didn't film at all this week because again, I was not feeling it, okay? I'm gonna put the workout on the screen in case you care for whatever reason. But I just did some glutes. I kept it super simple, like a whole lot of RDLs, abductors, hip thrusts, like as simple as it could get. And then I did end up doing my post-workout cardio on the Stairmaster. One was finally free. And that brings us to Thursday. Again, I don't think I filmed much on Thursday. I honestly can't remember, which is sad because in like current times, that was yesterday. I had a pretty long work day on Thursday, and I also, like I said, it was my rest day, so I didn't do any fasted cardio, any workout, any post-workout cardio. I did still obviously follow the meal plan to a T, but other than that, like I didn't really do anything pertaining to this video. Oh, what I did do though, now I remember, it's coming back to me. I still went to the gym because I'm a psychopath and literally you can't keep me out of that place. I went and did some posing practice, which I didn't film a lot of because it was really just for me and seeing again, like if I could maybe do this again one day. Posing practice was a little bit rough. It felt really good, but I'm definitely a little rocky on the heels these days. So we need more practice before I'm comfy showing you guys that. And that leads us to today, baby. Today is Friday. It is technically the last full day of this challenge. Let's go. I woke up, again, spirits were high, okay? Wednesday and Thursday, they really tested me, but Friday, I'm back, baby. We're back to that high spirit, that excitement, that feel-good energy. As soon as I woke up, I didn't set an alarm or anything. I just woke up naturally around like 7:30 in the morning, and I went straight to do my cardio. I got my hour done and dusted, came back, made my egg whites, I was hanging out. I actually went rollerblading, like I had enough energy to do more physical activity, which is crazy. And that leads us to right now. It's currently midday. I did my cardio a few hours ago. I have showered. I clearly have not washed my hair, but I have showered. And I have my last training session this evening and my last cardio session after that. And then I'm gonna be doing my final check-in with y'all tomorrow morning. I don't know if I even have a hypothesis for this week because my body has been all over the place. Like I said, like Tuesday and Wednesday, I was feeling really lean. Yesterday, though, on Thursday, my body was feeling really inflamed and kind of bloated. And I do think some of it was coming from the lack of sleep and all of the stress. And then same thing with today, like I woke up and I just wasn't feeling as tight and lean as I was feeling on Monday and Tuesday. I really don't know why. Like I said, like food, activity levels, water intake have been extremely consistent throughout the week, but I am curious to see this like last training session and cardio session does anything and I wake up tomorrow feeling good again. I guess we'll see. But I am just sticking with the program, baby. Oh, actually, I lied. I'm not sticking with the program. I am changing something. Since my Tuesday workout of chest and shoulders hurt me so badly, and like y'all, I'm not saying this lightly. I'm not saying this as a joke. I genuinely wouldn't do this if it wasn't as painful as like I'm being so serious. I was in so much pain. I am swapping my training days. So tonight is going to be my full leg day instead of back and shoulders. Because I genuinely do not think I could train upper body today. Like I am still very much so healing in the neck region. Hopefully y'all don't get mad at me for that, okay? If anything, we're doing more legs, which is very on par for a wellness girl. A few notes though. One, I forgot how much I have to shower doing a prep. I also forgot how much laundry I have to do. I feel like I've just consistently been sweating through clothes this entire week. Oh, and then dishes too. Like I obviously meal prepped on Sunday, but I went through a lot of that food really fast and had to grocery shop a little more on Wednesday. On a typical week, I do eat a decent amount, but I snack a lot. I usually don't like actually sit down and make myself a plate of food on a regular basis. But that's been a change. I've done the dishes like every day. I've done my laundry like every day, and I've been showering like twice a day. So it's a lot. And I am breaking out, which is not cute or fun or demure. That's it for now. I'm gonna see you guys in approximately 4 hours when it's time to do my final workout. Also, just a little water update because I feel like I didn't really update that part for the rest of the week. I've been consistently having 3 at minimum of these large bottles every day. I don't know how much that equates to, but I do know it is at minimum a half gallon, which was my goal. So I'm really proud of myself on that front. And hopefully, if nothing else, that habit sticks after this week. we did it and I'm so proud, and I feel like I worked my ass off this week, and I know it's kind of ironic because I've obviously done this before and I've done it for weeks on end instead of just 1 week. But truly I didn't know if I had it in me anymore. Like when you take 3 years off of something and then try to dive right back in, it's intimidating as fuck, and I'm genuinely very proud that I did it. And I'll obviously fill you guys in either later tonight or tomorrow morning, depending on my energy levels once I get home and get food in me. But this is not the end. I will definitely be continuing kind of on the program, sorry, I'm trying to turn, on the program that I'm doing, just on a much easier level. Like instead of 90 minutes of stairs every day, maybe just dropping it down to 30, and then instead of no food, bringing my calories back up to what they were and slowly chipping from there instead. But I definitely have the fire lit under my ass, and man do I feel good. I had to pick up more tilapia earlier, so I swapped my chicken and tilapia meal. So we are about to eat the last meal of the week, which is tilapia, rice, cucumber. I'm actually really excited. I've been really enjoying this meal and definitely adapting tilapia back into my like normal diet. I think I'm just gonna hang out and relish in my accomplishment of the week right now. And then tomorrow morning, I'm gonna do measurements and check-in photos and a little update in the morning. Exciting, I have my new Hot Girl Walk Club, which for those of you who maybe don't know, if you live in Austin, Texas, I am starting a walk club here. It's kind of like a run club, but we walk instead of run. There's just a handful of us going tomorrow, pretty small group, but it's our first meetup, so I'm really excited. So I'm gonna check in pretty early with you guys, go on that walk at 9:30 in the morning, come back here, and then I will give you my closeout final thoughts of the video. Good morning, my loves. Welcome to the final check-in. We are finally here. Anyway, we are doing some measurements, the same measurements I had started with on Sunday at the beginning of the week, just for fun and like research purposes. First off, I weighed in already. Our starting weight, if you remember, was 162.4, and today, drumroll please, I woke up at 161.9. So did I lose a lot of weight? No, but I'm honestly surprised I lost any weight at all. Like I said, my initial prediction was that I was actually going to gain weight just due to inflammation and change in diet. So pretty cool that I didn't, I guess. I do feel really lean. Body composition can also be really weird because I feel like I look like I lost more than 1 pound. But I didn't, and that's okay because weight don't mean shit. And let's do some measurements. I also did take a few before photos, so I'm going to be taking photos on my iPhone to compare them, but this is how we're looking. The lighting in here is not the best right now. It's a little dark, but that's okay. This is definitely where I feel the biggest change. I doubt I lost any inches at all, but my core definitely feels tighter compared to before starting this. I'm at 27. Like maybe 27 1/8. I'm not good at measurements. I'm around 27. Next up, let's get that bicep in, baby. I have felt jacked all week. Like figure competitor who. Bicep is like exactly at 13. Glutes have shrunk. I don't know if they shrunk this week, but they're at 40. And I was looking at my old measurements and they used to be at like 43, so kind of upsetting. That is the downside to leaning out, is you lose some mass. My quad is at 25 inches. I truthfully do not remember my initial measurements literally at all. I'm gonna put them on the screen right now. We're gonna do my measurements from when I was at this time in prep, my measurements from the start of this week, and my measurements from the end of this week. And that is all we have. I do have my walk club this morning, and I think the plan is to go get sushi, just to have like a little bit of a cheat meal without ruining all of the healthy food I had eaten all week. I always feel really great after having sushi. I usually get pretty clean rolls, like no crazy sauces, no crazy crunchies. It's really just like salmon roll, rainbow roll, and that's kind of it. It's time for my little celebratory meal. As you can see, I've already dove right in. I just got a tuna roll, a salmon roll, cut up my own cucumber to kind of pair with each bite. Got some ginger, some wasabi. Fun fact, ginger is really good for bloating. I love just eating ginger on its own like all the time. And then I got some spicy garlic edamame. So this is the plan. It's not eating that crazy. I'm still gonna feel good after this meal. And then I think I might just eat on meal plan. Like this will be a substitute for my first meal of the day, but have my tilapia meal later today, etc. Just so I wake up tomorrow still feeling good. Sometimes if you do a challenge or something like this where it's like a temporary calorie decrease, if you just jump back up to your normal calories, your body can react in negative ways, and I already have a lot of gut issues. So just to keep it kind of easy today, I'm gonna eat on plan after this meal. Okay, final thoughts time, since I never actually sat down to film an outro. Are we even surprised? Probably not, especially after a week like this. On the left here was my before photo. These final photos were taken today, on Saturday. I'm actually really shocked at how many differences in my physique I see, especially through my midsection. So this has definitely motivated me and inspired me and taught me that I do still have the discipline and willpower it takes to step on stage again if I so choose to do so. This was definitely a physically taxing week. There's a lot of things, so many things I would change if I had to actually dive into a prep right now, but it was still a great learning experience and I thought it was super entertaining, so I hope you guys did too. Thank you so much for sticking it out with me. This is the longest video I've ever posted, so if you've made it this far, you're a real one, and I love you, and I will see you next Friday with another video, and I'll also be updating you on my plan after this in the next one.